In many ways, this feels full circle to me. Your first, it wasn't your first win in AEW, but your first big win came on all the way back on AE Dynamite episode 2 in Boston. You guys beat the Young Bucks. You have a chance to do it again this weekend. So, how are you feeling going into the match? Like, is this appropriate that it's the Bucks? Like, do you think about history, like what I just mentioned at all, or talk to
Right.
me about your thoughts going into it.
When we start, Quinn?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I definitely think it's a full circle moment. I think it's actually pretty cool, and pretty crazy at the same time that we're facing the Bucks again in October. When we beat them before, it was in October, I think 9th. And fast forward 5 years later, we faced them on October 12th. We beat them the first time, and then fast forward 5 years later, I think we're gonna beat them again. First time it was for high stakes. This time it's for higher stakes. First time was
Mm.
for to advance in the tournament. This time is to actually be AEW World Tag Team Champions. So I do think it's crazy. I think it's actually pretty insane.
We advance as wrestlers. We
Mhm.
advance as performers. So I feel like the like Zay said, the first time was for like to advance in the tournament, but this one is pretty much higher stakes. Therefore, I feel like I really had to think about it. Back then, the Young Bucks underestimated us. Now they know what we're capable of. And I know that we're gonna precede what they think of us. So I wouldn't say a full circle moment, as in like what we're gonna do in a ring, but full circle moment as in yes, what the stakes are and what the outcome is gonna be basically
Yeah.
be.
Mention, I think honestly, I think this is like the biggest match of our career. I honestly think that not only do we face the Young Bucks for the World Tag Team Championships, but this is our first time in 5 years, actually be on a tag team 2-on-2 match on a pay-per-view,
Mhm.
you know, and we don't take that lightly.
No,
Being honest, we're tired of being overlooked, we're tired of being passed on, and I feel like we have a lot to prove. We have like the biggest chip on our shoulder. You kind of see it right here. It's a big Pringle chip right there. Right here too. And we have a lot to prove. So I think this match is gonna mean a lot when we beat the Young Bucks and become the next AEW Tag Team Champions.
Yeah, and you made a good point. You've had a lot of big matches in your career, but it's been multi-man tag matches, or you worked with Matt, and you've been through a lot in your careers. Uh, One thing I appreciated as far as like how you guys have changed over the years is, something we saw just as recently as this week. You guys turned down Stokely as your manager. You want to do it on your own. Uh, I guess it's a two-part question. Was that a conscious effort on your part to be like, no, we don't want anybody with us? And is there somebody that maybe you entertain working with in that capacity again?
I mean, we worked well. Quinn was out, but I worked with Stokely already, and we've been there, we done that. Um, I'm not opposed to working with somebody else if they're gonna help us and reach us, get us to new heights, and gonna like teach us. And because I feel like doesn't matter how skilled you are, doesn't matter how much experience you have, you always on the job, you're always learning.
Mhm.
So if somebody could provide that to us, I'm not opposed to it.
When? Any follow-ups?
yeah. Oh yeah, no, no. I definitely agree. I was out with the whole thing with Stokely
Mm.
when they did the firm, but I mean, if anyone knows what Stokely's capable of, Zay pretty much knows.
Yeah, I'm good on that.
All right. What about, I mean, it could happen, but maybe a little fantasy booking, like a name like Amazing Red, I know has a connection to a lot of different wrestlers, you know, whether he came in as a manager or as a teammate, would you entertain something like that one day?
Yeah, I wouldn't want him to be a manager. I would definitely want him to be our teammate because that's my guy and I love him. And, you know, we owe a lot of our success to him because he basically taught us from legit the beginning. And I still talk to him to this day, still ask him for advice, so still picking his brain. So to have him side by side with us, I think that would be pretty amazing. No pun intended.
And for me, I was to say, who's to say that Red wasn't in our corner to begin with?
Yeah.
Like he was always there. So it's always like we always had a third man,
Yeah,
or like they say the sixth man, but we always had an extra guy. Red was always there.
yeah, yeah.
But I would say, but to be in the ring or have him there outside the ring coaching us as we go, that could be something different.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, I think you can kind of sense like when I was saying it, I was like, I don't know if I want him to be a manager. I think I want to see him in the ring, but still having that sort of physical presence either way is a good thing because I talked to Mike Santana not too long ago about the influence that Red had not only on, like his time in TNA, but just, New York City wrestling, like in independence, like he still does.
Oh,
You
for
know,
sure.
I don't think his influence on the business can be overstated.
No, the cool thing about that is like everybody admits it. You know, everybody from like Will Ospreay, Ricochet, all the greats, they all admit that, you know, Amazing Red is
Yeah,
a true pioneer of what we do today. So it's pretty cool that people acknowledge that, and it's pretty cool that we're his trainees. So it's definitely something to appreciate, which we really do.
You guys obviously worked with Matt Hardy for a good portion of your career. Uh, what did that time with him uh, sort of teach you in preparation for this match on Saturday?
That's my guy. That's my well, I mean, I think everybody knows that I'm a big Hardy Boys Mark, you know, Matt and Jeff, but I was specifically with Matt a lot more than Jeff. But I think the most important thing Matt taught me was um, just to have fun. You know what I mean? Have
Mhm.
fun and remember this is a business. And I try to imply that to everything that I do going forward. And also be more aggressive and
that's what that was gonna be mine.
yeah, just show that we could fight. I mean, we could do all the cool stuff,
Yeah,
show that we could also fight. Um, and also what else he taught us? It's so much things, man. There's so much. I still
yeah.
talk to this day. It's so much things, so much things. But I think the most important thing that stuck with me is just you could do all the high flying stuff. You know, everybody's seen it already, but you got to show people that you can fight. You know, show people you can fight, and that's about it. There's so much I can say, but I'm gonna just go.
I'm gonna say I wish I showed when we was with Matt. I wish I showed more aggression
Mhm.
when I was with Matt. And it's just like AEW when it came up, it was just like, wow, this whole thing is like a dream. And then us being with Matt, it was just like, whoa, this is even it's proven that it is a dream. And Matt used to always just say, show aggression, show aggression, show aggression. And like, and I felt like we would turn it, but we didn't turn it up to the ability that we could do. So
Yeah.
that's one thing that I wish I would say for myself that I would approve with when we was with Matt Moore. It was just like I wish I could show like I could whip some ass rather than just do it rather than do a 450.
I know he's not there anymore, but it's really still cool to hear him rooting for your success. I know he talks about you guys on his podcast. I believe you guys have been on there in, I think since he's been gone. I can't remember, but I know like, Matt and John have had you guys on in the past, but uh, ha you were talking about aggression. Was the Zay Mox broke your hand with the hammer. Did you see that as a way to evolve your character too? More than just having it be featured part of the story. Maybe that was like the jump off point to maybe show that aggression, like having a reason for you guys to be acting a different way because that's the catalyst for it.
I mean, yeah, it's a real life situation. You know, somebody takes advantage of you. You know, it's the odds are it's not even. You know, it's what was it? It was two or three against what four, I think, at the time, and they took my hand, broke my hand right before New York. I had my family there, you know, and then on top of that, it was for the Trios Championship. So I had in my mind like, oh, it's gonna be a great match, and I'm gonna do my best to win because my family's there and I want to make them proud.
Hmm.
And again, you got John Moxley coming out of nowhere, beating us up, and then decides to, you know, try to take out my hand right before the biggest match of my life at the time. And that touches home. It's now it's
Mm.
personal. And you have no choice but to be angry, no choice but to be mad. Now I'm gonna beat your ass, and I don't care what happens. If I lose, whatever, I mean, if I lose the fight, if I get bloodied up, but I'm gonna show you that I got that dog in me. All right, and no matter what happens, I'm gonna do my best to whip your ass. And if you paid attention, um, after this hand surgery, well, not the hand surgery, after this hand thing happened, I had a cast on. The week after, Brian, no, it was Darby and Moxley. They had the match. We came out to save Brian, and I rocked John Moxley. I rocked him.
Mhm.
Yeah, I have video footage. I rocked him twice, and I was on his ass. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, fast forward a couple days later, that Saturday at Grand Slam Collision, we lost, and I was just frustrated. And if you saw the promo, you could hear the frustration in me. It's like, all right, I feel like it's time. It's time, and I'm tired of losing. I'm tired, like I said, I'm tired of losing. I'm tired of being overlooked. It's time to shake things up a bit. And here we are today, facing for the World Tag Team Championships tomorrow. Yeah.
How is the hand doing?
It's all right. Not gonna lie to you. It's all right. I think I got like 2 more weeks to get this stupid brace out my hand, but it's all right.
And then Mark, you missed a lot of time in 2023 due to an injury. I think maybe yours was a little more severe.
Mhm.
Don't want to downplay anything, but
Don't downplay this.
uh, it kind of obviously puts you on the shelf, but it stalls your momentum. Are you looking at this year as a way to, get back on the right side of things? Like obviously tag team gold is your goal in this match,
Yes.
but how do you look to, establish momentum, like not just in this one match, but through the rest of the year?
I would say, well, for me, winning this match is momentum for not just this year, it's for like all the way to the next year and the year comes because look who the tag champions are. To me, that's like the the best tag team there is.
Yep.
They beat FTR. They they beat pretty much everyone. They started a company off of tag team wrestling.
Yeah.
So in order for us to establish momentum, like we said earlier this year, new new year, new champs.
You did.
And this is the moment right here that we're going to prove that. So when we beat the Bucks, I don't care who steps in line when we're champions. Because once we beat the Bucks, there was no one knocking us off because it's like, yo, we beat the best there is.
Yeah, that's true. Preach. Oh,
So so therefore it's just like as far as momentum, you beat the Bucks, you have all the momentum there was. Just back in 2019, we had all the thing is that we had all the momentum after we beat them, but we partied too hard.
yeah.
That was the difference. After 2019, like we did say, the party never stops, and it didn't. It did not stop because once we beat the Bucks, it was just like, who's messing with us?
No one.
And then we started getting sloppy, and then we caught some else.
Yeah, we took that W for granted. We took that W as like it's
Mhm.
the end all be all.
Yeah, and then to
We got
pick
two other matches, two other high profile tag teams that we got to face, and we took
and,
them. We lost
and
focus.
yeah, and then if you ask me, we're pretty much the most laid back people there are probably in the locker room. But if I could go back to the last question about Moxley, Moxley woke up a beast inside of us because no one would try to cross that line with us because it's like, yo, who's gonna mess with Private Party like that? Who's gonna do that to them? Some dickhead did,
Yeah,
and guess what? He messed up
he
because
did.
now that we're gonna become tag champions, who's messing with us then?
I agree. Preach.
Do you guys
I don't plan on out moving the Bucks. I don't plan on out flipping the Bucks. I don't plan on having match of the night. I do plan on winning though, and as Matt Hardy said, by any means necessary. I'm
Quote
just gonna
that.
beat their ass.
Quote that.
do you guys have something that you want people to talk about more? Because there's a lot of stuff you've done in your AEW career. I mentioned like working with the firm and Matt Hardy and the win over the Bucks. Like, is there something that you feel like flies under the radar a little bit that you wish, or maybe after this weekend people will start talking about it more, but is there something that comes to mind that you're like, this is something that people should talk about when they think of private party more?
That's a perfect question, Bill. And let me tell you why it's a perfect question. Because I feel like starting with this match, shit is about to change. As you know, the Elite took over from January till October. When we beat the Bucks, there's a whole new change coming. All right. I'm tired of seeing the Bucks take control. It's time for the new generation to step in. And that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna lead the charge this Saturday at WrestleDream when we beat the Young Bucks. Look at my t-shirt. It's my boy DG. Shout out to my boy Daniel. He's gonna lead the charge too. Whatever championship he decides to win. You heard him on Wednesday. He's here for championship, just like we are. We're here for championships, and now it's the new generation taking over. The Young Bucks don't love AEW. They already got paid. They paid.
They made.
They laid back. They're content, and that's okay because they did a lot and they deserve to be content. But now we trying to eat too. We trying to be millionaires.
I'm starving.
We're starving, and that means we have to beat the Young Bucks for the AEW World Tag Team Championships by any means necessary. And we will do that this Saturday because the new generation is taking over.
All right. I'm going to say you guys are going to win. You're going to win the titles.
Of course.
Maybe the party doesn't happen as often as you guys said in 2019, but what's like your first order of celebratory business on Saturday or Sunday morning?
Well, first of all, when we win, I'm going out wherever.
Yeah. I was about to say, let's not get crazy. Let's not get crazy now with the party. But
I mean,
obviously you're going to go out and party for a title victory, but I'm just, you have some kind of plans in mind. You got to have it there.
Like, are you referring to like how we're gonna party, or what are you?
Yeah, what's the plan for Saturday night, Sunday morning, or
I about to say first thing I'm gonna prove that it is called the championship belt, and I'm going to wear that belt everywhere I go.
That's
not taking it off.
That's a good one.
Not taking it off. It's gonna match every pants that I wear, every sneakers that I wear. That championship belt is going with me everywhere, and you're gonna see it around my waist.
Yeah, I can't get to the airport and ask me, "Oh my God, what's this big gold thing?" Oh, sorry, sweetie, it's my tag team championship belt. You want to take a picture with it? Sure. Here,
I'm gonna go through the metal detectors on purpose with it. Beep beep beep. This?
You gotta wear a coat.
Silly,
and then when they're like, "What's this?"
Can't believe you did that. Can't believe you did that.
I'm like, go ahead, check the belt. It's real gold.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a section in Seattle. Hopefully, they got some good clubs in Seattle. But I would love to celebrate in New York, but got to be in Seattle. So hopefully, get a good club in Seattle. Mm-hmm. Get some honeys with me, and give everybody some shots. You know what I mean? Get a round of shots, tequila only. Tequila only, all right? Tequila only. What you want, Patron? You want Azul? You want Casamigos?
Don Julio.
Hermana? You want Don Julio? You want G4? Let me know what you want.
Oh, you like G4? G4 just came out.
G4 is fire. G4 is fire.
I was say, you're on. Yep.
Shout out Dax. All right.
As the wrestling purist in me thanks you for wearing the belt. I know it's a habit of throwing it over the shoulder, but it is a belt. So yeah, I'm with you there. All right. Anything you guys want to close out with? We didn't plug or promote. I know WrestleDream is the big event this weekend. Yeah. Anything else you want to get out there?
I'm just gonna say, like, this match is the most important match of our lives, and it will dictate a lot of things going in the future. So, by any means necessary, we're gonna do our best to walk out of Seattle with those AEW Tag Team Champions, and finally become what everybody knew we could become, and that's the best tag teams in the world. Finally prove that, man. Finally prove that, and this Saturday is going down. It's happening.
I'm just say better late than never.
Yeah, it took us 5 years.
It took us 5 years, but
patience is a virtue. And we have a lot of patience. But it's all gonna be worth it when we walk out the Tacoma Dome with those AEW Tag Team Championships. Anything is possible, baby.
Yep. Last of a dying breed, AEW Originals.